Hey guys, what's up? It's good to see you. Good to be back. This is Konrad from GOG Boxing, Grumpy Old Geezer Boxing. And yeah, it has been a while. I know, gosh, I could do 10 shows to talk about what's happened over the last 12 or more months. In short, yeah, I got hit by COVID. Not once, but twice. I had a lot of complications. Really messed with me, taught me a lesson. Boy, I tell you, boxers, be careful with that stuff because it is not easy to come back. But I did come back. I've been getting back in shape. Also, thanks for the kind words to some of you that wrote in. But what I want to talk about today, Cleto Reyes headgear. Yeah, Cleto Reyes, real Cleto Reyes headgear. And we're going to make some comparisons also because I've got some cheaper headgear and I've even got some counterfeit, fake Cleto Reyes headgear. I'm going to compare that just a little bit. So let's get to it. Now, here's the deal. Now, real, authentic Cleto Reyes cheek protector headgear in black because I like the color black. This is the size large. Immediately when you buy it, I'm one of those guys, you know, if you get new boxing gear, it can be headgear, it can be gloves, the leather, I could just collect it if I had enough money. Or maybe if somebody out there wants to start sending me stuff to review. But this, immediately when you buy it, you just know this is quality. The leather's awesome. You can feel, one of the first things you notice when you get Cleto Reyes as opposed to say cheaper headgear, for example, here's some cheap headgear. I've actually got a different pair of cheaper headgear too. This is the kind of thing that if I have a student, I say, hey, put this on your head because I don't want to actually hit you if we're doing drills or whatever. I mean, it's okay, but it's really hard, right? It's pretty hard, so it might protect you, especially from headbutts and cuts, but you get hit and it's not taking off much of the shock, to be honest, right? And there's a lot of headgear like that. Whereas when you get like better headgear, like top line headgear, like Cleto Reyes, you realize, one, it's strong, but you can feel it's a little bit mushy. It's made, you know, it's gonna take that shock off. You just immediately feel it. Same thing with the actual cheek protectors, right? Now, how is it, the other thing you notice very quickly is the stitching. I mean, it's just pretty. It's like, it reminds me of like a Mexican saddle, like a really good Mexican saddle. You just see it instantly. And we'll talk about some of the things that immediately differentiate this from, say, fake Cleto Reyes, because there is some stuff out there. And I'll tell you how I even got a hold of some. Now, what do you have? On the top, very simple, you've got these loops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you've got a drawstring, so you can make it tighter, make it bigger, however fits you the best. On the back, you got 2 Velcro straps. I'm not going to undo them because I have it set kind of perfectly for my head right now. And then you've got the chin buckle, and you got this metal chin buckle thing, which we'll talk about that. Sometimes this thing irritates me a little bit, and I'll tell you why, but not enough to rag on. This is like, for me, this headgear, out of a scale 1 to 10, this is like an 11. Yeah, turn it up to 11. Spinal Tap reference there. So let's put it on. I'm going to put it on my head. Now, I've got kind of a big head, to tell you the truth, big bony head, which has served me well. I'm lazy, so I just get this how I like it, right? And I just put it on. I can put the buckle in. Well, I just won't bother for a sec, because anyway, this is what it's like when it's on me. And I want you to see something here really quick. Actually, if I I'll just pull it tight like what it would be. Okay, so it's a little bit closer in, right, with the cheek guards. And so my nose sticks out a little bit. Cheek protector headgear, I mean, I guess you got a nose that's like flat or already broken and flat, whatever. Okay, then maybe nothing touches your cheeks. But if you take some gloves, actually, I'm gonna also throw in a quick thing, because I've had a lot of questions while I was sick and not doing this about sparring with these Fairtex BVG9s. Which I really like these gloves, but I'm just putting it on right now to show you. So I'm gonna turn. You can see my nose a little bit right here, right? But if I get hit, bam, bam, bam. Now it's not gonna. I mean, I can get stung on the nose. I could see my nose getting broken with these, but I kind of don't have the nose that's always getting broken. I know some guys, their nose is just a mess, just all over the place. They cannot spar without getting their nose broken. Like, they spar for a month, they're getting their nose broken again, it seems like, or something's always wrong with their nose. I don't really have that. right? Now, I'm not saying you're not going to feel it on your nose. Let me pull that a little tighter. Feel it on your nose, right? Because it's going to get the tip of my nose. And I guess somebody cracks me, I could get my nose broken. So it's not the ultimate nose protector. If you want that, get yourself a nose bar. You'll see like Canelo Alvarez sparring with a nose bar. But to tell you the truth, if you keep your head down, right? You keep your head down. Most of the, I mean, I just don't take a lot of shots directly on the nose. Probably the next time you see me, I'll be sparring. I'll have a freaking broken nose, and I'll take my words back. Anyway, really good padding and protection. You get hit. I mean, this is kind of a get to the silver lining of what happened to me, okay? Because I was sick, and then I decided it took me a while. I finally, after all these different problems, I came back, got in shape, started sparring again. And to tell you the truth, man, I was, you know, well, I'm about to be 55. Okay, that's the first thing. Then I was sick and not doing anything for a year. And let me tell you, suddenly, for the first time really in my life, my reaction time just gone. I mean, I saw this Sean Porter interview after the Crawford fight where he's going, and he was talking about the fight going, I'm getting hit. And that's kind of like what it was with me. But I was really able to test this freaking, this Cleto Reyes headgear. There's a silver lining because I was getting hit, right? And my nose is okay. I actually didn't have any problems like that. And it really saved me because I took some big shots, to tell you the truth, from a couple of guys, you know. The old guy puts it on, then they want to pay him back, right? Now, here's the thing. When if you keep your head down, right? You keep your head down, I think you're going to be just fine, and this is all you need when it comes to good headgear. Protect your cheeks, protect your nose, because this is really good padding here, really good padding here. You got your ears very well done. I got hit right on the ear by a guy, I really did. No problems, no cauliflower, nothing like that. Now, what you don't have, take this off. What you don't have on this is, you know, you don't have any padding in the back, right? That's fine with me. I'd rather just not have the padding in the back, have it in the front on the ears, especially up here on the forehead and these cheeks, right? But you don't have, this is not a headgear. There is some headgear. In fact, it's funny, the fake Cleto Reyes headgear does have padding in the back. Otherwise, when you get it, you will notice that also on the inside, it's the same leather as the outside. Okay, and we'll talk about why I'm mentioning that in a minute, because there's a couple things that kind of sometimes can bug you about this headgear, and I'll tell you why. But first, let's compare the fake Cleto Reyes with the real Cleto Reyes. Now, here is some fake Cleto Reyes headgear. Okay, and it's really pretty well done. Okay, I'll tell you how I got this is because there's a woman that I met. She bought this headgear for her husband because he got real serious about boxing for about a month, and then after he started getting hit, he didn't like it, and she thought it was real, and she said, well, you want to buy it off me for nothing? So I, well, okay, if it's Cleto Reyes. And you know what, and I picked it up, I thought, man, is this real? It's real. But the first giveaway, when you buy Cleto Reyes headgear, and I remember this, it's one of these weird things you remember, it's going to be sent to you flat like that, which for some guys is a little bit of a shock because, you know, you buy like cheaper headgear, it'll come in, you know, it's kind of got that, because it's got the chin is attached, it's kind of got that stormtrooper type thing, right, going. And Cleto, the real Cleto Reyes headgear, they'll just pack it flat and send it to you, okay? But still, I was like, okay, well, let's compare this. Here's the real Cleto Reyes headgear, and you've got the sewn-on patch. It's not like you know, like a sticker or something. It's sewn on. Cleto Reyes got the star. It's got the little sparkly gold. Hecho en Mexico, professing now, whatever. Large, right there on the thing. You've got the four, like I said, you've got these 4 loops here. You've got Velcro. This one doesn't have. This one's tied in the back. But you've also got really good stitching. And on the inside, on the real one, you'll see there will be a label, and the label will show, there'll be the label which basically says warning boxing, kickboxing, whatever's dangerous. But there's also a label that says where it's made, Hecho en Mexico por Industria Reyes, whatever. And it talks about the Vallejo, and it's got the fabric, the factory name on it and stuff. So I had no doubt this is real anyway, because like I said, it was bought in California by a guy who he bought it for me because I gave him the money because I couldn't go to California at the time. But here is whoops. Here is the fake Reyes, okay? Now here's a few things that were giveaways on the fake. First of all, like I said, it didn't come flat, okay. This is funny. I remember that it had Velcro on the back. And this is not necessarily a bad thing, okay. Padding in the back, not necessarily a bad thing. It does have the 5 loops, but then you look at the stitching, this big, with, it's nothing like this cool stitching, which looks like it's, like, I don't know if you can really see this, but it looks like it's, like a good Mexican saddle stitching, because I'm originally from Texas, so I like saddles, good leather work and all that. It also, it's harder in general. It doesn't fit as well. This is a large. It doesn't really fit me that well. I'm not going to bother putting it on my head for you right now. But I was like, it was still, it's not really that bad. It actually is, it's okay. It's just a little bit small for me for a supposedly large. So I even was curious, and I thought maybe this is like an older version that I never saw. So I actually took pictures and I sent it to Cleto Reyes. Said, hey, this looks like it's a fake, whatever. And they said, yeah, it's a fake. What are you doing with it? I was like, oh, I don't know. So stick with the real thing. But now let's talk about a couple of things that that maybe you should pay attention to if you buy it. You might notice this is a problem. You might not. Okay. First thing. Now a couple of things and these aren't really problems. Again, I rate this like an 11 on a scale of 10, especially considering that I was getting hit a lot going back to sparring, and my reaction time is still not very good. Definitely not what it was a year and a half ago before I got sick and all this crazy COVID stuff came. So it saved me. Silver lining. This stuff really has helped me. This headgear has really helped me. But if you put it on your head, right? I'm going to put it right on one more time. Nice fit. I just like the way it fits too. Now I like it. I usually put it on pretty tight. Whatever. I'm not going to buckle it. Now when sparring starts, and you want to be warmed up before you spar, but if you're not real sweaty or anything, you put it on and you get hit, it doesn't move, really. It doesn't move. So, but the problem I notice sometimes is, say it's between sparring rounds, and you take it off, and you get some water, and you put it back on, you're all sweaty, right? You're all sweaty. Then this thing can move around. So I would just advise, have a towel there, wipe your face off, wipe your hair. I don't have a lot of hair, that might also matter. And wipe your face off, your head off, and then put it back on, or it can move. The other thing is the buckle, okay? Now, this strap is not at all in a bad place for me. Not at all. I put it on, it feels comfortable, and it keeps it in place. The problem is that I'm terrible with buckles in my fingers if I can't see something, right? And I can't see it. So a lot of times I'll put it on and say, hey, I'll tell you, say to somebody else before he's got his gloves on, hey, can you put this on real fast, because I can't get it on, right? So people put it on. They're not paying attention. They just put it on. Now, look at what happens. So here's the buckle. Here it is. It's made well. It's not going to come apart. It's stable. Nothing on this is going to like tear or wear out tomorrow, nothing like that. But now it's actually done it right now. I want to show you this. You see the buckle right now? Now what's happened is the little metal bar, that goes through the strap hole, it's gotten on the wrong side of the buckle. It's on the back side of the buckle. So what you got to do is you got to flip it and put it on the front side of the buckle, and it's not hard to do. So now it's right on the right side of the buckle. So if I put it in now, if I put the strap in through it now, and it goes through the hole, right? Yeah, there you go. I put it in now, and it goes through the hole. I'll just put it through the first hole because that's the first. So if anything happens, it holds. So it's not going to move. It's not going to come off. The problem is that, if I'm not looking at it, and I just gave it to somebody else and say, hey man, can you strap this in for me? And he actually didn't notice that this pin has gotten on the wrong side, and so what will happen is you put it in, and since it's on the wrong side, as soon as you get hit, it just pops right out. And I remember, a couple of times it happened to me where I'm fighting, I'm sparring, and somebody had put it in and they didn't look to see, I didn't look, that the pin's on the wrong side, and pop, it pops out when I get hit, and the headgear moves. Hold on, I put my headgear back, go over, can you put it back? They put it back in the same way because they didn't look and see where the pin had moved, right? So you just want to be aware that you need to make sure that little pin's on the right side or that strap's not going to stay in place. So it's a minor thing. Sometimes it bugs me a bit. I hate things like that. However, it's so protective. It's so good. Again, you know, bam, you get hit, right? And it's good enough for my nose, the cheek protectors. If I tighten the strap, especially if you don't tighten the strap, the cheek protectors are a little bit there. If I tighten the strap, cheek protectors move in, my nose is okay, right? It's not the perfect, it can get my nose, it's not the perfect thing for your nose, but it's plenty good. The other thing it's great, is the vision. You can really see. I mean, it's almost like I don't have headgear on, which is really weird compared to other headgear. And you're like, why does it work like that? I don't know how they do it. I don't know how Winning does it. Where it looks like, you know, that does look like stormtroopers, you know, vision. But when you put it on, you can see everything. And that is awesome because you never feel like those guys that have low jabs that hit you with, you know, they're jabbing, but it's coming from like, say, a Philly shell, it's coming from down under. It's not invisible to you. I mean, it's always a little bit less visible than something comes straight, but it's not that your cheek protectors and your headgear is blinding you from it, so you're getting caught with that stupid thing. He lifts your chin up and then he kills you, right? So that's about it. Again, I'm rating this very, very high. Now, the other thing I'm going to say is I've had tons of people since I started putting these up asking about these gloves. The Fairtex, we're mixing brands and reviews. I don't think you're supposed to do that. But the Fairtex gloves, the BVG9s that are like the Mexican Fairtex boxing gloves. Are they okay for sparring? Okay, I'll give you a yes answer and a no answer. But first, I use these, just one, they really hold up pretty well. You can see they're cracking on me a little bit, but that's more, if you run your thumb on it, you don't feel it. That's more just kind of more cosmetic. I'm not surprised because I use these things outside. I go outside on the bags. I don't have a home gym. I have it outside, so it's freezing cold, it's raining, it's whatever. I try not to get them wet, but the temperature changes and everything. And I really abuse them. I don't take care of them, and they're still in great shape. I don't really, even the padding is just fine. After what I did this morning a year and a half ago, this is one of the reviews that got tons of hits on it. Now, sparring. I will say that after especially doing a lot of sparring, because I was actually sparring for a reason, then I broke my finger and I had to stop. I'm about to start again. I did find sparring, say 50%, no problem. 70%, up to about 70%, no problem. Over that, yeah, it's a little bit hard. I mean, I'm the old guy. And so, you know, if you start hitting the young guy starts hitting you back, and suddenly sparring goes from 50% to 60 to 70 pretty fast, and then suddenly it's like, whoop, I got him on a hook, and I could feel, well, some of these young guys don't want to admit it, but I could feel it's a little bit beyond what it should be as far as softness, right? To be perfectly honest. Great gloves. I've heard some of if you buy the newest version of this, they're a little bit softer maybe. But maybe if you're going to do a lot of sparring, especially hard sparring, I would probably say get something that's a little bit softer and puffier. Great gloves, great for all-around stuff. If you're not a heavy hitter or a hard hitter, maybe they're fine. But if I put something on it, I start feeling guilty. I do. Okay, that's enough. That's enough for today. It's been a while. I'm going to try to come back, give you some good, we can try to come back, give you some good lessons or just advice from an old guy. And also, in some of the next episodes, I'm going to talk about coming back from COVID or a long layoff or whatever, because I'm going through it again. And again, I'm old, I'm 55 almost. If I can do it, you can do it. Otherwise, great to see you. See you soon. This is Konrad from GOG Boxing signing out, and goodbye.